Hey yo, what is up, Illuminati? Bradley here, and we are diving back into Illuminati Weekly. Um, this past week has flown by. It feels like just yesterday we dropped the last Illuminati Weekly. So we're gonna get right into it. It's been another week of action. We're advancing early every single week. We are rolling on all cylinders. So thank you to everybody. It is a massive team effort. We're going to kind of repeat a little bit what we did in the last Illuminati Weekly, where we just put really crappy scheduling on blast. So we've got another really crappy scheduling channel to examine, right? To examine and learn from. I don't think we learned our lesson last week, so we're going to try and relearn again today. So that will be fun. And then what else do we have on the agenda for today? Mm, we dropped an Illuminati magazine over late last week. Um, a collection of graphics, and I think there were like 5 or 6 different articles. And we had a massive team of people involved in production on that. So I'm very, very happy with that. And I think we ran into the same issue this week where that we ran into a lot of last cycle where we had so much content going out that some content slipped through the cracks. I believe there was a game of the week graphic that Luar made for week 7 that did not even get posted. So, um, part of that was I was like super disconnected over the weekend, right? It was an incredibly busy weekend. Another part was the amount of content we were posting. And technically, I don't even think we've posted the magazine yet on Twitter. And like, that was like absolute gold, one of the best things we've done, and we've not even posted it yet. So we're back into the groove where producing so much content that we're struggling to keep it all flowing. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll get that magazine posted today, and also on that game of the week graphic that did not get posted, the game didn't even get played. So yeah, yeah. And on that note, right? So I'll say this, right? I'll say this, and we'll move on. That game that did not even get played, it's not the bad scheduling we're going to look at, though. That was bad scheduling. So, um, it was, I think, the Washington football team or whatever they're called now. Is it Washington football team, Washington Commanders, Washington something? I don't know. The Washington team, Brad 2, the fake Brad, was colliding with 23 and his Cowboys, and Cowboys didn't even respond. You know, in his defense, days prior, he did send me a message and was like, "Hey, Brad, I'm not going to be able to play this game of the week." Blah 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 blah. And I responded. I'm like, "Yo, bro, that's fine, but like, communicate it with your opponent." And then like, I'm going through like the games prior to advance to see like what force wins need set. And dude didn't even respond in like the scheduling thread. Like, always communicate to your opponents, and two, like, that's just disrespectful, right? Like, if I had not received a message from that guy when I seen that, I would have instantly just replaced him, right? Like, you gotta communicate, and like, that's not the first time that has happened, this cycle, right? That's not the first time that's happened in these 8 weeks of the Illuminati, where someone reaches out and goes, "Hey, I can't play," and then completely ghosts their opponent. Right? Like, listen, it is more important that you tell your opponent you can't play than you slide into my DMs and tell me, because like, if the game's not played, I'm going to end up going through and looking at the scheduling channel, and I'm going to see in that scheduling channel you saying to your opponent, "Hey, bruh, I'm not able to play," and like, listen, like, we will operate with excellence, and we will plow forward, and we will continually advance early, and we will do all these things that make us great. But in the mix of it, in my life, everything we're doing is secondary. I took 2 sims over the weekend. No regrets. took 2 sims. I dedicated my weekend to my family, and other things I have going on, and we all have those things, you know. And like, I don't want you to put what we are doing here above what you got going on in your life, right? So like, if you need to take a like, if you can't play, right, like communicate that to your opponent. Both times, both of the games that I didn't play, I communicated to my opponent, hey brah, this is what's up, I don't think I'm gonna be able to play, you know, right? So I mean, it is what it is. All that aside, there was some horrendous scheduling, some absolutely horrendous scheduling. Let's look at it. Okay, here we go. So this was from week 7, and it was a dumpster fire. So it begins. Neon Sports. Neon Sports tags the 2, right? Like it always does. And then Woolen, right? Woolen, this is A plus from Woolen, right? Like we're gonna give Woolen an A plus. A plus for Woolen, right? So Woolen says free after 10 p.m. EST or tomorrow after 3. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. We're not gonna give Woolen an A plus. We're gonna give Woolen like a B minus. Okay, this is acceptable, right? Like he kind of comes in with this like, this is hypothetical. It's everything we talked about last time, right? Like last Illuminati Weekly. Free after 10 p.m. EST or tomorrow after 3. So he comes in with these vague time slots of when I would potentially be available, you know? But it's still open ended, right? What would have been better is Woolen coming in and being like, let's play at 10 p.m. EST or 3 p.m. EST, or he says after these times, right? So maybe he says, like, maybe what he should have led with is, hey, can you play at 11 p.m. EST or 4 p.m. EST, right? So there is this thing that we must do, and that thing, right? Set hard times, you know, and none of this is setting a hard time. Like this is just hypotheticals. Woolen, like he came in with like a hypothetical time that would probably work, but no hard time is set. And then PS3V says, okay, probably tonight. This is an F. This is an F. This is an absolute failure. It's an F plus. This is an F plus from PS3V. Okay, probably tonight. That's garbage. That's dumpster fire. Okay, and the Woolen responds, can play whenever. All right, this Woolen, you started acceptable, but this is F plus 2. Okay, so he comes in and says, okay, probably tonight. Well, your response should have been, okay, cool, let's set a hard time. What's this sound like, you know? And then PS3V said, okay, said probably tonight. Woolen says, okay, and play whenever. And then look at this. 1:07 a.m. Woolen's like, yo, what's up? You know? Like, Woolen's like, yo, what's up? Right? What's up? Yo, what's up? And then we got PS3V says tomorrow. I'm tired. And like he doesn't even like have the strength to type out tomorrow, you know? He types out TMR. Okay? So like bruh. And like listen, all of this, right? So like tomorrow, I'm tired, right? This became acceptable because of this, right? Because, okay, whenever. No, no, we cannot do whenevers. Whenever leads to this. Whenever is the catalyst that paves the way for TMR. You know, right? Like not even tomorrow, just TMR. Woolen then responds. Woolen then responds. What time before 6:30 EST is best? Right. So this is another B minus from Woolen, right? Like he's kind of flirting with setting a hard time, but it's still like hypotheticals, right? And this is 1:20 p.m. 1:20 p.m. TMR, right? And then like here we are 3 hours later and still nothing from PS3V. So this is interesting, right? So Woolen says before 6:30 EST is best. And now here PS3V is at 4:20, so about 2 hours before like the acceptable window, you know. And then he says we can run before 6:30, probably 5:30. Okay, he says and then Woolen's like bet, right? So we have a time. We have a time an hour before the time. That time 5:30. Then here we are 5:33. PS3V is like, yo, 5:45. He tags him again. So from PS3V, this is an F. There was a time set. He's in my A. And then here we are at 6:50, 20 minutes later, and he's loading up. PS3V says, I just entered draft. We can run immediately after. You see the mess we get in here. Like this is just a dumpster fire. Woolen's like, how long? PS3V, I don't know. PS3V starts in 5. So like it hadn't even started yet. Because if it's going to take longer than 30 minutes and I can't play after, because it's going to take longer than 30 minutes and I can't play after 6:30. Can you play tomorrow night? No. Or tomorrow morning? Can you play tomorrow? Can you play in the morning tomorrow? No, I have school. I'll just take the force win. This is interesting. This is where it gets interesting. I'll have to be, or he, so Woolen says, I'll just take force win. PS3V says, it'll have to be free sim, or fair sim. Woolen's like, fair sim when you miss 2 scheduled times, LOL. So, here's this is a dumpster fire. This whole thread is a dumpster fire. You missed 2 scheduled times. No, he didn't. There was no hard time set. The only hard time was the 5:30 that Woolen missed. Everything else was just hypotheticals, and there were hypothetical ideal time set, and PS3V did miss those, right? And then PS3V is like, LOL, what time I miss. You see, this is big brain. This is big brain by PS3V, right? Like PS3V refused to agree to a hard time, and they're just talking like hypotheticals, right? And like they had hypothetical ideals of when they were going to do it, and when the hypotheticals came around, he's like, nah, bruh, TMR, right? Yeah. And then like this is golden. This is golden from Woolen. I love this. I love this. Boom, look at this. PS3V is like, what hard time, bro? Like, I didn't set no hard time. I didn't agree to no time. And then Woolen tags the 2 hypotheticals, right? Like in the first one he just said 1, in the second one he says 2. Like this is absolute dumpster fire. And then PS3V is like, you pinged me 15 minutes after I scheduled a time. And I mean, he has a point here, right? Like, regardless, you said before 6:30, so like, it's like hypotheticals. I don't know. And then he's like, oh, 15 minutes. Yeah, it's true, 15 minutes. And then he says, I was fine missing the draft until you ain't answered. So I just started. I mean, it's not even worth reading the rest. But absolute dumpster fire. We didn't verse him in. I gave Woolen the force win. And really, like, there was no like right answer on what to do with this, right? Like, any course of action we took, like, this could have easily like been the script flip. It could easily have been like if cards were played a little bit different, like PS3V could have got the force win, right? And it could have been a fair sim. But like that first day of scheduling from PS3V, garbage, right? Like Woolen over here like giving these like potential times, and like I don't think PS3V once set a time, and like he agreed to the hypotheticals, but when it push came to shove on two different occasions, ghosted the hypotheticals. And then like they set a time like an hour before the time, and like Woolen's late to it, and like just an absolute dumpster fire. Do better, do better, do better. Woolen, you kind of did some good things, but like you need to like without mercy set a hard time. And someone comes back with this like hypothetical garbage. Nah, set a hard time. Luar made these absolute dope, dope standing graphics. I believe it was the daily discussion from yesterday. Let's take a look at them. So the AFC have the AFC here and the NFC. I want to make a comment about something here. I want to see something here, right? Look at the NFC South. Buccaneers are 0-6. Look at the NFC West. San Fran is 0-6. The Rams are 0-6. So the NFC has three. Oh, wait, also the Cowboys are 0-6. So that's four 0-6 teams. The NFC has four 0-6 teams. Now we jump over to the AFC. How many 0-win teams do we have? I mean, there are no 0-win teams left in the AFC. So the AFC has zero 0-6 teams. The NFC, I haven't really got a chance to look at the results from week 7 yet. So this might have changed a little bit because these were the week 6 standings. But the NFC has four 0-6 teams, In discussions that we've had, Steady has been very loud that the NFC is the far superior division, right? The far superior conference. Is it? I mean, we look at this and like four 0-6 teams compared to the 0-6 teams. Is the AFC the far superior division? As we look at this, there's a couple of things that really stick out to me. Steady claims that the NFC is far more top heavy. We look at this and I mean maybe like we got H Coke 6-0. We got the Bears 6-0. We got Doc 6-0. So 3 undefeated teams left as of week 6. When we go over to the AFC, 1 undefeated team left. A couple things that surprised me. One, I did not expect Cheech to be having the year that he had. Like Cheech is dominating. The only undefeated team left in the AFC. We got a couple of 5-1 teams over here in the AFC that are looking very strong. Something that I don't think anybody expected, but it's a pleasant surprise. Nick and his Chiefs. Look at that, right? Look at that. Nick got kind of like a bad rep leading into things, especially with like that performance in the bowl against Jumper, right? Um, he's putting on a clinic here, right? We might be seeing the Nick redemption arc. Like, is that what we are seeing right now? Is this the Nick redemption arc? If it was playoffs right now, Nick would be in. I don't think anyone expected Nick to be here, but he's here. And I mean, it's still early on. Anything could happen. The tables could completely flip, right? Nick is, as of week 6, Nick has the same record as Luar, a, an owner who formerly has been in an Illuminati Bowl. I don't think anyone expected Nick to be here. We may be witnessing the Nick redemption arc. We flip over to the NFC. Um, we flip over to the NFC. And I don't feel like the NFC is delivering at all. Like, steady hype the NFC up as this like uncontested machine compared to the AFC, but like you plug Nick into the NFC, right? You plug Nick into in the NFC East, he's tied for first. You plug Nick into the NFC West, he's leading the division. This guy that like got no love prior to the launch could be sitting at the top of multiple NFC divisions. Over here when we're looking at the AFC, I kind of point out like these surprises and these things that we did not expect. I look over here at the NFC, and I mean, aside from like the dominance of the NFC North, right? And these guys kind of like, you could say that like Vikings, like Swag kind of came in late, right? But like, I mean, he's like battling all of this NFC North competition and like the dominance of this NFC North division here. Like, no one really sticks out. And I say no one really sticks out, and like maybe that's disrespectful because like people aren't gonna like this. People aren't gonna like me pointing this out. But prior to the launch, one of the things that Steady said also about the NFC was there was a shot that Jumper wouldn't even make playoffs. But here he is with a strong lead in his division. Has everything Steady claimed to be true? Has the opposite happened? Everything with the exception of the NFC North dominance. And like, I feel like I've asked this question before, but at what time do we begin to take Jumper serious? Like, here he is running away with his division. I don't know. I don't know. I did want to talk about the magazine we pushed out, but we're running a little late on time. We've already been at this almost a half hour, so I think we're gonna call it. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for making this league what it is. This league is not the endeavor of one person. It is the endeavor of a very large collective of creatives, and I thank you all. I bless you all. I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Much love.